Speaking to NDTV last night, Anand Sharma said this was typical Prime Minister theatrics. He did, of course, point out other flaws in the system.
Well, there are two aspects to this. It has taken us 10 years to reach where we have. I would have been much happier had we reached here in 2012 itself. Before Pranabji moved over to the Rashtrapati Bhavan, because we had tried to build a consensus, but we were stonewalled, and the opposition then finally was restricted only to one state and to one chief minister, Shri Narendra Modi, who is now the Prime Minister. I am happy that he realized the virtues of it and the fact that what Dr. Manmohan Singh and the UPA government was doing was in supreme national interest. We as a mature opposition party responded positively. It was a constructive cooperation between the government and the opposition, particularly the Indian National Congress, which ensured the passage of the Constitution Amendment Bill and the legislation to follow. Otherwise, if we had adopted any negative attitude, which we were not at all inclined to, we would not have seen this day. But when we say a landmark day, yes, in one way, it's a major step. But it will take time before it is distilled into an acceptable GST as per the global benchmarks. Because we still have a lot to cover, Vikram. Let's not forget that with 5 slabs of tax rates, it makes it a very imperfect GST. The transactional costs will be high, and the compliance burden too will be not easy to bear, particularly for the micro, small enterprises and the small retailers. We hope that as we move on, these issues will get addressed. We have flagged it to the government in our consultations and also in the debate in Parliament. No, we are not saying, but also let's not forget that India is a big country, and for the GST network, there should have been extensive trials. We have not done that. See, we have a situation where 300 crores returns will be filed every month, and each GST taxpayer will have to file 3 returns every month, and 37, overall 37 in 1 year. Now, when we look at the small entrepreneur, small retailer, and the informal sector, where 80% of your economy is based or embedded, has that assistance been given? We were cautioning the government that they must prepare them, give them logistical support, train them, because many of them don't know how to use the GST network. Having said that, we have supported it, we continue to support, but at the same time is for the government to see that the long exclusion list, which actually takes out 45% of the revenue base, is eventually brought in. Because if it's a revenue neutral tax, why should we have such exclusion? Because you cannot call it one country, one tax. You have central GST, you have state GST, you have UT GST, you have still cess, that power is vested in the center. Then you have these 5 effective slabs of tax rates. In addition to that, you have these exclusions. So these are some of the concerns which we had flagged.